Hello there, Site 42 staff, as well as those of you from the greater SCP Foundation staff mentions. Matrix. Roster. I don't know. Welcome to another After Hours with Dr. Sherman, a subsidiary of the anomalous broadcast from Site 42. As always, I, Dr. Theron Sherman, site director of this site, who should be told certain things, because I'm the boss here. We'll get there. I, daily, for 7 months and counting, the streak remains strong. I am here to open my office doors to you, the Foundation staff. No matter how crummy I'm feeling at the time, to inform you, to answer your burning questions about the inner workings of the SCP Foundation. This wonderful place of work, we all find employment. Even in the calamity and chaos, we love our jobs, right? And so I'm here to answer your questions for the next 90 minutes to 3 hours. I don't know how long we're going to be here, man. I don't know how long I'm going to make it. We'll just play it by ear. But before we get to the Q&A, before I let you know what's going on around the site today, let me start with a little bit of housekeeping. Dr. Frogman, congratulations on being our #1 most punctual chatter. Thank you for being first. Alongside you, Nicky Knackle, Notorious Gaming, Black Phoenix, King of ADHD, Amber, Night Synth, Dr. Dark Star, Rat, Alki, Chesta Factory, Silent Follower. Everyone who I have just thusly named, thank you for being punctual to today's stream, even if it is after hours. And thank you all for being members as well. We appreciate your membership and your service. Furthermore, Rave Haven, Jason Everett Miller, Cyrus, Trevor, and Vanish, welcome to today's stream. Thank you for being here punctually, and thank you for being here just for being you today. So, you're probably wondering why we're running so late. You're probably wondering why the site director is injured. Well, it's because without Steve, who is still recovering from the scenario last month, I am without a competent assistant. Oh, no, I still have an assistant. It's just the competency that I am left wanting for. Ow. So, I'm a little late today because I had some car trouble. And by car trouble, I mean Dr. GERALD threw a car at my head. I was up bright and early. We did some tests. 4521 still hasn't screamed, but even then, I was feeling optimistic. I thought that we were going to have a good day around here. And then I decided, you know what? I'm having such a good day. I'm so ahead of schedule. Let me have a delightful little nap. It'll be great. And while I was having said delightful little nap, there was a site-wide announcement that Dr. GERALD would be visiting Site 42. If you're not familiar with Dr. GERALD, listen, I could show you his personnel dossier, but there's one thing you need to know about Dr. Gerald. Do not let Dr. Gerald behind the wheel of an automotive vehicle. So Dr. Gerald was being escorted to site by security personnel, and that security personnel member had a freak heart attack en route. And so, in Dr. Gerald's words, someone had to help him get to Site 42's medical department. Well, I did not know Dr. Gerald was coming. I definitely was not informed that Dr. Gerald would be driving. And so while I took my own personal vehicle from my dormitory over to the main laboratory, what do I see? Barreling down the street, sorry, not down the street, above the street, because Gerald had managed to ramp off of a loading truck, but only just off the skidding edge, not into the truck where I would have been safe. No, off the corner. I need to requisition a new personal vehicle and several other pieces of our site that are broken, on fire, or broken and on fire. So tonight is an evening for mourning our fallen staff members. Nobody died, they're just in hospital. Our fallen vehicles, of which there are 7, along with 3 fire extinguishers. And thankfully, one of the 3199s got pulverized by the hurtling metal meteor that Dr. Gerald was in charge of. And I am mourning the site budget that I now have to requisition several vehicles and overtime hours for cleanup and for fire suppression. Not the fire suppression department, which is a cute nickname for our internal affairs bureau. No, I just mean suppressing literal fires. But I hear Desk had quite a laugh at the fireball, so good for him. So raise up your anomalous fluid if you survived the onslaught. Ugh. So yeah, I'll be here for 90 minutes. I can guarantee that much, but we'll see how far I get beyond there. 'Cause fucking Gerald. Greg Fisher, thank you for your first donation to today's stream. Make sure to grab yourself, I don't know, some aspirin on your way past medical. Good news, everyone. We just caught SCP-25,000. Your universe frightens me. Our universe is all only up to SCP-9,000 and change. 25,000 sounds like so much paperwork. I don't want that in my life. Greg, thank you for donating again to correct yourself that now you're up to 25,001. That is 1 more than what was already too many. I mean, we're up to 9998, but that doesn't quite count because the 9,000s aren't that full. So even though we've listed SCP-9998, we're not up to 9998 yet. Is SCP-5094 popular enough? Miss J is quite the popular article, although I don't see it talked about too often except for the SCP enjoyers who are quite into the wholesome side of SCP, which is less common than those who are into the spooky and the horror. Robin St. Pierre, thank you for your first donation to today's stream as well as being a member. Make sure to grab yourself some Tylenol on your way past the commissary or the med bay as needed. Hello, Dr. Sherman. This is Mobile Task Force Sierra 42, Captain St. Pierre. Have you heard of the mind game known as The Game? Also, D-Class Gerald. Number one, I am familiar with that cognitohazard. I was tortured by it very much in my youth, but thankfully I've evolved and trained a cognitive resistance value that can resist that anomaly. Also, we can't D-Class Gerald as much as I'd like to. That would only lead to testing Gerald with further anomalous vehicles, which would be even more dangerous. Are you going to Thanksgiving celebrate this, Trevor Gods? Yes. Yes, we will have Thanksgiving. In the site commissary, there will be delectable foods and giving of thanks that we made it through another year, because the odds of surviving at the Foundation are very, very low. And so when you make it, you celebrate. By the way, Site 42 staff, in the pinned chat link, which is the Site 42 support link, beacons.ai Site 42, that link, besides containing whatever sponsor we have for whatever week it is, links that are important to go to for Site 42, it has our social channels like Twitter, Threads, Blue Sky, etc. While you're checking those out, today I posted someone in the rookie in the staff lounge asked me what SCPs they should study the documentation of to understand the lingo of our work better. And I posted a series of the most popular SCPs talked about online and the most popular SCPs talked about in our containment hazard assessment team, i.e. chat. So if you are wanting to have a listing of particular articles to look into to expand your understanding of the general knowledge, obviously I would like you to look into deeper, more thorough articles as well. But just a quick smattering, a buffet to go through so that you understand the references in chat. You can find those on Twitter, Blue Sky, Threads, all that. Flowey the Flower, thank you for your first donation to today's stream. Grab yourself some friendliness pellets on your way past the commissary. If Flowey was an SCP, what would he be? If Flowey was an SCP, it would be an SCP, right? Is that what you're asking? I don't know, maybe it's because I was hit by a car today. Gerald? But I'm not quite sure I understand your question. What do you mean, what would he be? I need more info. Night Synth, thank you for your first donation to today's stream as well as being a member. Make sure to grab yourself a plate of fajitas on your way past the commissary and do this when they come out sizzling. So about earlier, doesn't that mean Dr. Gerald should get a fitting punishment? A few months in a pocket void might do, mayhaps, or any other ideas? Unfortunately, Dr. Gerald is one of the old guard of the Foundation, and as such, gets certain privileges from the overseers. And so, this is one of Dr. Gerald's quirks that we just have to live with. Commander Zed, SCP 10,000, thank you for your first donation to today's stream. Grab yourself a waffle on your way past the commissary. Dr. Sherman, Commander Zed of Site Redacted. Would you ever be willing to collaborate with Professor Oakland of Popcross Studios? I'm not familiar with Professor Oakland of Popcross Studios, although I do know the name Popcross Studios for some reason in my head. Popcross Studios, who are you? It seems like they've made some SCP Foundation content. So if there's a Professor Oakland who wants to talk shop, I would not mind chit-chatting with them, but that is up to them to reach out to me. I don't think we can intermediate between fans of each other, but if this Professor Oakland wants to talk shop, my business email is open. Robin St. Pierre, thank you for donating again. Dr. Sherman, could you explain the mind game known as the game out loud for our dear the desk, as he doesn't seem to know what it is? Oh, no, Robin, we can't do that. We do not want to break that MEMETIC space HAZARD to the desk. It would be too traumatizing. It seems there's a Pam having a birthday in the chat. Well, happy birthday, Pam. Thanks for spending a bit of it with us today. And I'm glad you didn't get hit by a car. I see a Ko-Fi notification. Let me grab that so I don't miss it. Rose Lady, you sent a dono yesterday that I missed, so let me start with that and say, hey, thank you, Rose Lady, for your first donation to today's stream, even though it was yesterday's stream. And you said, headed to bed early tonight. Have a good rest of your stream. It was good yesterday. I didn't get hit by a car yesterday. It was a great stream by comparison. SCP-3000 is the best water snake, and please disregard the screaming. 3000, really? The best? You must not be introduced to our Lord and Savior, the longest boy, the fish that just goes on forever, praise its great infinitude, SCP-5320. But you can grab some seaweed salad at the commissary and look into the proper best water snake. Levi, welcome to Site 42 staff. Thank you for subscribing. Dr. Dark Star, thank you for your first donation to today's stream as well as being a member. Thank you for making the effort to do it through the Ko-Fi. That way, we get more of it. YouTube takes a 30% cut of all super chats, but Ko-Fi only takes 15%. And actually, that's PayPal, not Ko-Fi. So thank you for making the effort. It helps us out. So I did a lot more. Oh, and make sure to grab yourself a some Berg on your way past the commissary. So I did a lot more research on the Viper suit idea. So let me know what info you want for the test to be completely approved. Well, I would simply want some diagrams, maybe some explanations of the anomalies involved in making it function. Perhaps you can come up with some applications for other places in the Foundation this is useful. If we're investing it for you, it would be nice if we could utilize it elsewhere for other purposes. So, yes, those intels, I want those intels. The chat seems to need a refresh. Give me a moment. What are some anomalies held by Site-42 specifically? Well, Intern Destroyer, if you head to the SHRM Site-42 hub and author page on the SCP Wiki, there you can see the SCPs I personally wrote, and some of those are contained at Site-42, so you could learn that way right there. Somebody asked this question before, and I felt it was a good question. Is Dr. Gerald able to ride bikes? I am 90% certain that Gerald is not allowed near bikes as well. Dr. Gerald personnel file. Research assistant. Oh no, he's been promoted to that since then. Where is the information on his clumsiness? Yes, SCP-666-J. There we go. Dr. Gerald's driving skills. D-Class and Gerald are the only ones allowed to get on any vehicle that Dr. Gerald happens to be driving. Prepare a number of body bags equivalent to the number of passengers on any vehicle that he happens to drive, minus himself. Additionally, medical teams must be on standby if Dr. Gerald will be traveling through a populated area or any form of potentially hazardous environment, i.e., a nuclear power plant, chemical refining plant, etc. I wonder why those protocols were not cleared up for today! All individuals who board any vehicle or form of transportation that Dr. Gerald himself is controlling in any form are assured to die. Testing has shown that even those who escape vehicles he's been driving are doomed. They are generally struck by another moving vehicle within minutes. In such cases where the passengers aren't near any other vehicles, they will fatally suffer from apparent anxiety-induced heart attacks. Dr. Gerald himself, oddly enough, always survives whatever horrors he puts a vehicle through. Additionally, all potentially hazardous objects seem to become even more dangerous if he is manning a vehicle in their general vicinity. Knives penetrate more than their sharpness would accord. Normally benign oil tankers become moving bombs that will detonate with the slightest touch. Buildings lose any significant rigidity, and pedestrians seem to lose all forms of self-preservation, throwing themselves into his path. A mere bicycle ride can inflict the devastation of an EF3 tornado. So there's your answer. Unless you want an EF3 tornado, do not let Dr. Gerald ride a bike. Jimmy, welcome to Site-42 staff. Thank you for subscribing. Addendum. Dr. Gerald is never to come within 25 meters of SCP-462. Codename The Getaway Car. Addendum-2. Plans are being made to construct a vehicle which can contain SCP-682 long enough for Dr. Gerald to actually drive it. Would be nice. Oh. Can Dr. Gerald drive a chariot safely? What about a horse? Can Dr. Gerald ride a horse or any other rideable animal? If a bicycle causes these issues, I am certain that a chariot and or a horse would cause similar issues. Robin, thank you for donating again. Captain St. Pierre, thank you for donating again. Dr. Sherman, have you tried the songs from Hymns of the Imperium? They're quite good as 40k fan songs go, though I need to tell Cece if you make them play on stream. Also take your nest eggs. I can't take my nest eggs right now. I need to wait until I am in a better physical state to handle the combination of situations there. And I am unfamiliar with Hymns from the Imperium. I'm not a 40k follower, but yeah, that's something I could eventually look into getting into. There's a lot going on in that fandom. Can Miss J teach the most dumbest student on Earth? Possibly. I mean, Miss J is a very good teacher. Yes, probably the best teacher. So yes, probably. Although getting the dumbest person on Earth up to a certain capability, I mean, we can't waste Miss J's time only on one idiot. So probably could, but we shouldn't. Raw caution, and you look like you need some EPs. I am not allowed to go to sleep until they rule out concussions. Dr. Sherman, what is your favorite backrooms level? 0 to 100. My favorite backrooms level is not being in the backrooms. I like being where the anomalies aren't. I like sending D-Class into the backrooms. Then they can do all the things they want. My favorite place to send the D-Class in the backrooms is the floor that's just a giant ball pit. Because the ball pit sharks are always really funny when they catch the D-Class. So, yeah. Whatever numbered level that is. Oh, Site 42 staff, congratulations. Dr. Frogman has informed me that you guys have got the like count above the viewer count. And thanks to that, the YouTube algorithm is going to favor us to bring us more SCP Foundation fans. And so thank you for your service hitting that like button. Let's grow this SCP community. Dr. Sherman, considering what happened in the Undertale / Deltarune fandom today, I'm in need of some cheering up. What's a nice wholesome SCP? I'm sorry. I was busy being hit by a car. What happened to the Deltarune Undertale fandom? I'm usually kept abreast of these internet scenarios because internet fandom is kind of what I keep track of over here at the Foundation. For those of you who seemingly just got here, as a reminder of what happened at the beginning of stream, or happened before stream, Dr. GERALD came to Site 42 today, driving a vehicle that he wasn't supposed to be driving. Dr. GERALD threw a car at my head. But I'm fine. Seto Kaiba, you're saying the drama is about the creator known as Shay. Well, I like that creator, so I hope whatever is happening, it turns out to be unfounded drama, but you can never tell. Hopefully it's a misunderstanding that we can clear it up or something. But I don't know what's going on, and I'm not going to talk about that with my near concussion. I will look into that later. Undertale fandom is not my circus nor my monkeys. Emerald, welcome to Site 42 staff. Thank you for subscribing. Guys, just remember, in any fandom, think when the Torches in Pit 4 come out. Remember how screwed Quite was before Quite came out and addressed the allegations and completely obliterated both Quite's accuser and the animated show SCP Confinement. So, I'm not saying there's not smoke or fire. Trust me, I've been through a hell of a lot of SCP dramas, let alone all sorts of stuff on the internet. I've seen it all. Just keep a low profile, sit back, watch what happens. Don't jump to conclusions. Drama on the SCP Wiki? Never. Ugh. Either way, what's a nice, wholesome SCP? Nice, wholesome SCP. You should read SCP-5320, The Infinite Fish That Just Goes On Forever. It is a nice, wholesome article. Chris the Red Devil, thank you for your first donation to today's stream. Make sure to grab yourself some ramen on your way past the commissary. If Springtrap / William Apton from FNAF was an SCP, how would you contain him? Well, that entity is just a dead dude in a bunny rabbit costume. I mean, it's not breaking out of a humanoid containment cell. That's actually pretty easy overall. I'm happy with that as an idea. I like easy ones. Maverick the Dragon Hackamon, thank you for your 3-month membership as a mobile task force captain here at Site 42. We appreciate your membership and your service. 3 whole months, and what happened with your face? Dr. Gerald threw a car at my head, okay? I'm fine. You don't have a rock? No! Lillianne, we dropped a follow-up video on the Floating Hand Spider just today, it turns out. If you want to see more from the Floating Hand Spider. Also, I'll have a secondary Floating Hand Spider video further down the, weekend. There will be more. The animated one, Dr. Frogman, that's what we're talking about, yes. The animated one is dropping this weekend. Dr. Puppeteer, thank you for your first donation to today's stream as well as being a member. Grab yourself some ibuprofen on your way past the med bay. I have arrived. What happened? And thank you, Building Block, for your first donation. Grab yourself some chicken fries at the commissary when you said, who let Dr. Gerald behind the wheel again? Well, that is what happened, Dr. Puppeteer. Dr. Gerald was being driven to the site, and then the personnel with Dr. Gerald had a heart attack, and so Dr. Gerald drove the car off a ramp and threw the car at my head. But I'm fine. I'm fine. I have just been informed through the back channels that the Shay Undertale situation is looking pretty bad. Can people just be cool, man? Can people just be cool? I would appreciate it if everybody would just be cool. Don't fucking assault people. Fucking weird. Don't be dicks. I don't know. I'll look more into it later. I can only see little clips here and there in the back channels. The Ko-Fi notification. Chesta Factory, thank you for your first donation to today's stream as well as being a member. Thank you for making the effort to put it through the Ko-Fi. Grab yourself a cherry cola on the way past the commissary. I just discovered that I can sprout dragon wings on command. Who should I talk to about that? Oh, just go to medical. That's not even weird around here anymore. Do you know how many dragons we have at Site 42 for some reason? So many. I have to research and see if we're buried on an ancient dragon burial ground or something. Maybe that's what's attracting all the dragons. Dr. Darkstar, thank you for donating Ko-Fi to converse with Chesta Factory. Chess, you can talk with me. I know where they are, and I'm a dragon myself. See? Dragons. Dragons all over the place. And then, Foxy Bunny, thank you for your first donation to today's stream. And I don't know if you're a member because the Ko-Fi's not telling me, but I think you are. And so thank you for that. And also grab yourself some steel-cut oatmeal on your way past the commissary. Hey, I've been thinking about this hypothetical for a while. If a mold was made of 096's face without looking at it, would looking at the mold count as looking at 096's face, as it's not technically a picture of the face directly? You know, when I think of mold, I think of sculpture. And so I'm thinking it's an artistic representation. But it isn't a representation, it is a cast. It is a mold. Nah, it's a separate medium from its face. So it's not a digital or artistic, it's not a picture or video. I think a mold would be safe. I'm imagining so. This is just a guess. But I think a mold would actually be safe because you're not looking at the actual face. You're looking at an artistic representation, a sculpture, as opposed to a video or a text. A video or a picture. So I'm going to guess safe. But also, we're not going to test that because it's just safer if we don't even try that. Can you imagine how many D-class we'd lose trying to get that mold? Dr. Puppeteer, thank you for donating again. You sure you're fine? I mean, I'm as fine as I can be having a car thrown at my head. So, I'm as fine as I can be. Also, I totally didn't inject any D-classes with my deadly venom spider portalist ability. Fucking spiders. Well, we can't be wasting D-classes. Those cost money. Don't waste D-classes. Dr. Sherman, any pen spinning tips I really want to learn? Hey, let's have a little tutorial right now, huh? Little tutorial, huh? Put the pen between your fingers and wiggle it. Wiggle it. And once you can wiggle it between your fingers, you catch it with the next one. Boom! One step in the process. Wiggle, catch. And of course, you can wiggle catch over the top. Over the top. Bottom, bottom, top, top. Bottom, bottom, top, top. Go the other way. Do it both ways to get better. You saw nothing. On this of all days, you saw nothing. Do it on both hands. Do it both ways. Get good. Get good. All right, let me just make sure this is still working. Yes, that is clear and good. That is not what I wanted. There we go. The archivist files, please do not. Yes, okay. Well, considering the situation around the Undertale fandom, why don't I just do our own version real quick? Hey, archivist files. Just so you know, in case you didn't know, we have our own very dramatic community drama from a couple years ago, and it was the author who created Dr. Bright. And the author who created Dr. Bright as an author avatar did a bunch of super skeezy stuff and is alleged to do even more skeezy stuff. And because of that, we at Site 42 do not talk about that Dr. Bright character at all anymore. And in fact, many SCP authors have straight up removed Dr. Bright from their stories on the wiki in solidarity. And so what you're dealing with is we don't talk about Bruno. Desk just showed a video in the links in the chat called The Last Death of Dr. Jack Bright. That has me summarizing the situation of why we don't talk about Dr. Bright. And you can then go to the links in the description that lead to more evidentiary stuff. But that is the scenario. And so you're not in trouble because a lot of people off-site do not know the rule. And so as long as you don't keep doing it, you're chill. I knew today was going to be a nightmare because I saw on SCP Twitter people talking about a drama video about SCP crimes. If you want to have a bad time and dig up SCP drama, if you just want to have a negative scenario, there is a video calling out SCP authors for drama. I don't know how accurate it is, but it looks nasty. At least the section on Dr. Bright was pretty straightforward to what I remember the situation being. It's by a YouTuber called Yapmaster. It's from like 6 days ago. But, yeah, it brings up the LGBTQ SCP drama of 2018. and then a couple creators who were problematic, because every community has them. So if you want to have a bad, negative vibe, you can go research old community drama. Nice hairdo, Doc. Oh, well, I got a nice haircut earlier, and then I took a nap, and then I got hit by a car, and my car is totaled, and I need to restock all of the vehicles. I need to accrue the budget. It's been a day. It's been a day. SCP doesn't have the monopoly on drama. You are absolutely correct, Amber. No community has the monopoly on drama. And in fact, toxic fandoms, it's usually every fandom that's toxic, because this is only for Americas. This is only for North America, the United States of America. I just want you to consider this, okay? So in my time as a professional, I have specifically worked for the YMCA, which does a lot of children's programs. And as such, they are really antsy about having all of their staff members being able to identify predators the best they can. We got to take classes about this. And while you're doing these classes, they just give you a simple piece of information, some statistics. America, the United States of America, has a total population. Do you know the total population of America? What's the total population of America? If you guessed around 330 million, you would be correct. Now, meanwhile, the amount of people on the sex offender registry in America, in the US, how many do you think that is? How many people are on the sex offender registry in the United States? Guesses. Guesses. Go ahead. Unless you've heard me say this before, then you can just say it. It's not a guess anymore. It's 1 million people. There are 1 million people on the sex offender registry in America. And so in a country of 330 million people, 1 million are problems. And of course, this doesn't even take into account how many of those kind of sexual assault cases are not guilty when they should have been guilty, or never reported at all. So the number is higher. And so if you're in a room with 330 people in the United States, statistically, one of those people is a problem. Possibly more. And so simply, what I'm telling you this for is to always stay alert in any group setting. Be aware. Watch yourself for the signs. The same class I took at the YMCA, I think you can just find that online on how to identify predators and groomers and the like. But do your best to take care of yourself, because even outside people can't always see what's going on. Dr. Sherman, what happened? Mr. Gog, I got hit by a car. Dr. Gerald threw a car at my head. Dang, I remember watching you when you had 200K. And now we're over 1 million. The hits keep on coming. The hits keep on coming. Aubrey Burns, the moderator is talking to you. You better pay attention. Dr. Darkstar, you are correct. I did miss the Ko-Fi from below Chesta Factory. My bad. Thank you for donating again. So for use for other applications, it could theoretically be used by any form shifter that has a human form. I'll work on the diagrams immediately. Also, only anomaly needed in theory is 294. Well, fingers crossed on that, but keep me posted. Meanwhile, it's been a couple years, Amber, since I was at the Y, but I'm pretty sure I was a mandatory reporter there. I'm like 90% sure I was. Even though I specifically did not work with children because I teach ballroom dancing, which was an adult sport. But I do believe I was a mandatory reporter while I was at the Y. Did it hurt? Mr. Gog, are you asking if it hurt when I got hit by a car? Yes. Yes, it did. That's what the anomalous fluid is for. You look traumatized. Intern Naruto. That is often how you look when you've been through a trauma. Oh. Sheeny, thank you for being a member, and also just good to see you in the chat, Sheeny. What is your favorite analog horror, Dr. Sherman, and if you could, how would you contain in the SCP Foundation? So, I'm not huge into the analog horror genre, but if I have to pick one, and I'm not even sure if this one counts, I would go with Shipwrecked 64. I really like gaming creepypastas, and Shipwrecked 64 is cool. Full-size car or like toy car, haunted researcher. Dr. Gerald threw a car at my head. Not a toy car, a car. In fact, if I'm being very specific, it was a security SUV. Researcher Last, thank you for your first donation to today's stream as well as being a member. Make sure to grab yourself a bao bun on your way past the commissary. Anomalous mini fridges sent to site redacted. So why did they redact the sites? How are we going to know where we're portaling things? Oh. That's a headache setting in. Ugh. Musical Sand. To submit things for Fan Art Friday, Desk will drop you a link in the chat. The link will lead to the rules, and the rules contain the email. So, by you go to Desk's link to see the rules, you will also see the email submission for Fan Art Friday. Is Dr. Gerald getting any consequences for the incident? No, Intern Destroyer. Gerald is one of the old guard of the Foundation. Everyone likes Gerald, and so despite this, Gerald gets off scot-free again. The Computer Guy, thank you for your first donation to today's stream as well as being a member. Make sure to grab yourself some street tacos on your way past the commissary. Oh, look at that. The Florida Man ability to walk off fatal injuries is showing. At least that, quote, quantum superposition you say you are comes in handy. Listen, Listen, computer guy, you think you're so smart. But I do not have the wherewithal to stand for your guff today. Maybe on a day where I wasn't hit by a car. Computer guy is not wrong. At 2, Amber? At 2? Your vids help me with SCP stuff. I'm glad to hear it, intern Damon. Glad to hear it indeed. Sheeny, thank you for your first donation to today's stream as well as being a member. Make sure to grab yourself some Korean barbecue on your way past the commissary. We have to get you into some analog horror. Start with classics, Local 58 or Gemini Home Entertainment. Also not sure if I've said so or not earlier, but dig the Phoenix coded hair color. Well, thank you kindly. We went for a tropical sunset that came out pretty bright, but I think it's fading into the sunset as it goes. But yes, when it first came out as super bright, I was called every fire-type Pokemon or a fire-type Pokemon trainer under the sun. Dr. Sherman, have you considered that Dado's banana pill might actually be made up of a bunch of small bananas, like on the atomic or molecular level, and they enlarge when they are consumed? Intern Ford, that sounds kind of far-fetched. I mean, how tiny can you get the bananas to be? No, I assume there's some sort of chemical reaction that causes the wholesale growth of bananas from scratch. I see my description has got everyone very excited about the Shermander nickname. Yes. Shermander. Dr. Sherman, there's a problem. Intern Wilkerson, there's a lot of problems. A lot. Wait, can he drive a unicycle? No! We know he can't drive a bicycle. Why do you think one less wheel is going to be okay? If Dr. Gerald is driving the thing will kill. Foxy Bunny, thank you for donating again. I mean, if you got hit with a full-size SUV at your head and all you have is a Band-Aid, isn't that kind of a net win? I'd brag about it. Well, thank you for donating again to say that. I blacked out when I tried to dodge the SUV. I don't exactly know what happened. I was just being treated when I woke up, so I'm not exactly sure what happened. I'd love to see the footage from security feed of what happened. You should get an ice pack. Don't worry, intern Feltner. I've got all the first aid I need right here in this anomalous fluid. Question, Dr. Sherman, what is the Foundation's protocol to dating staff? Intern Rave Haven. I need more specificity. If staff are wanting to date staff, that's one thing. We're allowed inter-office dating with proper HR notice and situations. But it better not be an anomaly. It better not be an anomaly. Not today! Whiskey, the cause of and solution to many of life's problems. Indeed, Sheeny, it does help. Thank you, researcher Simpson, for such wise words. Why do you have red hair? Did management approve this? Intern Wolfie, I am the site director. I am management. What I say goes, and I say people can have cool hair. What did I see here? What would be the most annoying and rage-inducing SCP that doesn't kill you but just annoys you? Intern Gog. While I can't scan the entire database at once, I can say that for today my answer is SCP al dente-J. That racist-ass stereotype Italian pasta is so infuriating. Silent Follower, thank you for your first donation to today's stream as well as being a member. Author Sherman wants you to know that he's fine. And this is all a performance. Yeah, I'll dance for you like a little monkey when I get hit by a car, you asshole. Sometimes having contact with your pataphysical higher level is not cool. We are time check, by the way, at 1 hour into this variable size stream. I don't know how long we're going to make it, but I will reintroduce in case you just got to the stream. Hi there, I'm Dr. Theron Sherman, Site Director of Site 42 of the SCP Foundation. I am here for my daily office hours stream. We go live every single day as we have for the last 7 months, whether I am well or whether I am very physically not well. I am here to answer your questions about the SCP Foundation so that you can be better staff members, more efficient. More efficient in telling me if Dr. GERALD is driving a fucking vehicle. But for those of you who just showed up, I have a Band-Aid. I have many injuries and many sorenesses because Dr. GERALD was allowed to drive a vehicle near Site 42. And he threw a car at my head. I know I'm here for at least the next 30 minutes. We'll see if I go longer. Night Synth, thank you for what I believe is donating again. Yes. Couldn't you ask to get Mr. Deeds assigned to you while you're recovering? He'd make a good, competent secondary assistant until you're better, aye? First of all, Mr. Deeds, as nice as it is an it, not a he. Please practice proper pronoun parlance protocols at the Foundation. All anomalies are its, not he's. Second, would be nice if some other site director wasn't bogarting the bell right now. Bastard. I don't have enough Steve right now. I'm waiting for Steve to recover so I can have a competent assistant. Dr. Darkstar, thank you for donating again. Was it a Chevy or Dodge security SUV? Hoping you a speedy recovery. None of the above. It was a Ford. And it certainly fjorded the river of space between my head and itself. thanks to Dr. Gerald's driving. Is 2721 the lake one? Intern Batata, no. 2316 is the lake of which bodies you don't recognize. 2721 is the trans Homestuck satellite. By the way, I read 2721 and I loved it. Easily has a place in my top 10 now. It nearly made me cry, however, it posed a question. We're supposed to refer to SCPs as it, but what if they want different pronouns? Number 1, Seto Kaiba. I'm glad you enjoyed it. As I told you previously, 2721 is a lightning rod of drama from loser-ass chuds who hate when anything gay or trans shows up in their stories because then it's political. No, you're just an asshole. But furthermore, it is a good story, even if I don't like that Homestuck Tumblr vibe. But finally, it doesn't matter what the anomaly wants for preferred pronouns. It's an it. They only get pronouns if we find them loyal enough to bring them up to a staff member role, at which point they get basic human respect. But as long as they're contained, they are objects, not people, and so we practice proper pronouns parlance at the Foundation. The lake that transitions trans people, I meant. Batata. Okay, that one is 6113. And you can see the gender switching stone is 113. And so 6113 was a trans story, and because of that, they used 113 to be a numerical through line. Sometimes SCP authors pick numbers to be thematic like that. Wait, what? What did I just see? Refresh the chat. No, I'm not letting this go by. No. I hate anomalies on a molecular level. Gotta love trauma, so no, I'm not looking to date the anomalous Dr. Shermander. Good. Then HR will give you the dating between staff protocols. That's fine. Where is it? 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 Who said that? I guess you can't really afford to let Gerald drive. Oh, pigeon guy. I would be so mad if I didn't find that hilarious. I'm refreshing the chat. I feel like it's having an issue. You should also probably explain that calling them an it is to ensure security by eliminating potential social engineering. Computer guy, that's a very good point. Yes, to remind everybody, anomalies that are in containment are treated like objects, not people. Because once you start treating them like people, you have to then sympathize with them and take care of their needs. And sometimes you feel bad that you're containing a human for life without parole. And maybe then you want to help that person out of containment, breaking protocol and releasing an anomaly into the public. So no, it doesn't matter if it is a normal human being with the ability to snap their fingers and make a little fire show up. It's a very simple anomaly, but it's still an anomaly, and that person is not a person anymore. They are an object. That is kind of cold. I love it. Damn right, Java name. It's just good protocol. Also, the desk is requesting a green name member of the channel for an experiment. Please listen to the desk green names for this experiment, which is probably going to help the desk's moderations. I get that, but whatever, I'm fraternizing with 2721-Lear. She and I are going to be friends now. Intern Kaiba, you are taking a dangerous path here. I'm warning you. Do not fraternize with anomalies, even in a friendly manner. Goodbye, Dr. Sherman. Gonna go early, but leaving the signal boosters for today. I'll be back tomorrow. Intern Anthony, we'll see you tomorrow. So, Dr. Sherman, since 5031 is a favorite of yours, do you think its ability to disappear when looked at is passive or active? Because the latter would mean, with enough trust, we'd see them for real one day. I 100% believe it is a passive ability. Similarly to how the Weeping Angels of Doctor Who are quantum locked, and that if you look at them, they can't move. It's just a natural instinct. They can't resist it. I do believe 5031 is the same way. If you look at it, it disappears from reality. Therefore, I don't think we'll ever be able to actually see it eye to eye, but we can get pictures. There's no reason we can't take a photograph of it, right? A machine doesn't make it disappear, does it? Is that in the 5031 logs? It's been a while since I've last read the 5031 logs. Non-sapient. So many tests. When directly observed, 5031 will temporarily cease to exist until the viewer stops observing the space. Traces of existence, such as scratch marks or blood tails, continue to exist. Video and photography devices do not capture its appearance. Okay, my question was answered. No, videos and photographs do not capture it. However, observing the shadow allows us to see abnormally small head with no neck, elbows branch into 3 sets of lower arms each, elongated torso approximately 1.9 meters in length, pelvis terminates in a crescent-shaped protrusion of osseous tissue with a blade-like lower edge, levitates above the ground at a fixed height of 0.5 meters. So, we can only observe its shadow. Photos and cameras don't work, unfortunately. Would be cool. All right, we're clear there. We're clear there. Moderation is functional. All systems are go. Good. I'm glad the desk is fully empowered. That matters. Dr. Darkstar, thank you for donating again to the Ko-Fi. Question I saw that I liked. Someone is getting their question from a dono, so make sure to thank Dr. Darkstar for uplifting your question. Dr. Sherman, how would the SCP Foundation treat the Illuminate/Squith from Helldivers 1 or 2 if they were in the SCP universe? Chaos Insurgency Database, you have been uplifted by a donor, so congratulations. Make sure to thank Dr. Darkstar for that. So, when we're thinking about the Illuminate, I don't know what the Squith are. If that's just another name for the Illuminate. I've actually not heard of that. The squith, known to the humans of Super Earth as the Illuminate. Okay. Aquatic species from the planet Squidly. One of the three civilizations who fought the humans during the First Galactic War. They were the originators of human UFO phenomenon. Great. So, a single Illuminate could easily be contained in a humanoid containment chamber. That is easy. Although, because of their psychic abilities, we would either be in a universe where we had telekill alloy and we would have to use that, or we'd be in a universe where we have telekill alloy but it's very dangerous and we'd have to use it very sparingly, or we'd have to isolate them far enough away that their psychic abilities could not reach, and we'd have to use some sort of pneumatic tube to give them feeding food. Furthermore, when it comes to spacefaring races and invasion forces, we don't have a lot of those in the SCP containment documents, because usually those are Apollyon threats that are like world-breaking, veil-breaking issues. Normally, the containment protocol is to keep them away from Earth as well for as long as possible, and then hashtag get fucked when they finally show up. Chris the Devil, thank you for donating again. If I was an SCP, how would I be screwed being in the Foundation? If I was an SCP, would I be screwed being in the Foundation? Why would you? No, if you were an SCP, you would be kept in a cell where you would have 3 square meals a day, exercise time with good behavior. So no, you'd be just fine at the Foundation, clearly. So stay in your containment cell. Dr. Sherman, can I wear a coat over my lab coat? I hate the cold. Also, I look pretty badass. Intern Haven, no. The lab coat is there to be an exterior layer that protects you from any projectile chemicals that may infect your person. You wear your long underwear, your leggings and undershirts, under your work clothes, under your lab coat. Lab coats are cheap and easily replaced. That's why we have them. No, you cannot wear anything over your lab coat. It is against protocol. If a highly trusted, loyal researcher got infected by an anomalous disease but didn't die and could function, would they still be allowed to be a researcher? Intern Evie, the answer is it depends. And as such, I would direct you to SCP Anthology 2024, in which there was an article called... Give me a second. Yeah. Heatidophobia, codename Carnal Rotting, SCP-8558. SCP-8558 is a wonderful document of a researcher being infected by an anomalous disease and how we would treat that scenario. Now, adult content warning. This has an adult content warning splash page for explicit depiction of sexual acts and graphic depiction of blood, gore, or mutilation of body parts. And so 8558 is one of those adult scenarios at the Foundation. Furthermore, if that gore and sexuality is beyond your taste for SCP content, you can instead go to... I believe it's... Let me double check this. Yes. SCP-8596, codename Scopophobia, the employee of the month. 8596 also deals with someone being infected by an anomaly and how the Foundation treats it, but it avoids the gore and sexuality themes, so it's an easier read. Checking. Wait a minute. What? Huh. I was curious. I've seen a blue guy talking about SCP-1225-J. I don't think I've very much seen a year-and-a-quarter-old article at a +6 rating. That is, to the wire, very 50-50. I mean, okay, it's only got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25 votes. But it's only at a +6, so that's a pretty close run. I did not know that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 MARIAHCARE. I did not know that we had a Mariah Carey anomaly on the wiki. This is... I am shocked. I did not think we actually had that on the database. Huh. Before I continue this, Desk is telling me that someone in chat is asking if SCP is real. And the answer is anytime someone asks if SCP is real, we always say, SCP is not real. SCP is a creative writing community. I am an actor playing a character. We're all here to have a good time. We do not want another situation like we had in the early 2010s, I believe, where people thought Slender Man was real and then stabbed their friend over it. So the Foundation specifically drops kayfabe whenever people ask if the SCP Foundation is real. The SCP Foundation is not real. We are a creative writing community and fandom. We're all here to have fun. It is not real. The Slenderman stabbing was in 2015, FYI. Thank you, Puppycorn, intern Puppycorn, for that intel and clarification. So yes, that's where we are. Refreshing the chat. But yes, SCP-1225-J is literally a fake Mariah Carey. It's not literally the singer Mariah Carey, but it's an anomaly that is genetically identical to Mariah Carey. It is voluntarily contained during the majority of the year, but during its active period in November and December, point of order, 1 month is scratched out, and then 1.5 months is scratched out, and nearly 2 months out of the year, so that is why Christmas keeps stretching out longer and longer. It will attempt to locate and travel to high population centers, usually visiting 3.4 locations during each Yule event. Well, this Yule event is better than 4666 at least. A brief exposure to the sonic frequency 1225-J creates will make you jolly and festive, will make you want to sing Christmas songs, will make you want to decorate for Christmas, and will positively affect your mood for the duration of the winter holiday period. Huh. So, by the way, taking bets now, taking votes now, both. Which daily stream will that song be the credit song? I'm taking bets, I'm taking votes, I'm also taking donations. When will that be the credit song? The question is very much into the air going into daily streams in the holiday season. Furthermore, starting the first day of after Thanksgiving, starting Black Friday, will be the daily donation drive for Dr. Sherman to not have Last Christmas by Wham be the credit song, thereby breaking Whamageddon for everyone present. We will start the bidding, and it will go up every day until after Christmas. If you want to be safe from Whamageddon, you gotta support the Site 42 cause. This is a threat. Wow. Dr. Darkstar, thank you for donating again through the Ko-Fi. I'll be heading out for the night, Doc. Feel better soon. Radio move me if you want a gem from my hoard. It can heal injuries and has been cleared by the researchers. It's safe fully. That seems highly convenient, which does not sound like anything in the SCP Foundation universe. It sounds too easy. There's got to be a catch, even if you don't know about it. Even if it's accidental, there might be something there. But either way, have yourself a good night. Researcher Last, thank you for donating again. 0505 gave me $2,000 and told me to move the mini fridges. Why would they bribe you to do that? We were going to move them previously to specific places. Why are they trying to change that? That's interesting. Wait, this is the second time I came here. Is it ending already? Site 42 staff, we are currently at the 90-minute mark, which was the minimum for today's stream. But I have a little more gumption in me. I think I can make it 30 more minutes. 29 more minutes to be exact. Why do people always ask if they can ask a question? Just ask the question. The fuck? Yes, stream etiquette. If you can ask a question, then I'll see that, and I'll say yes, but then I'll never see your actual question. Just ask your question. Sheeny has the right idea there. What's gumption? Puppycorn, the word is gumption. Gumption. Gumption is your wherewithal, your go-get-em, your determination. That's your gumption. Vocabulary word of the day, gumption. Dr. Darkstar, thank you for donating again. It has been tested on humans. It is safe. My radio frequency is 345.7. I don't know, man. I got a bad feeling. I don't know. Seems too convenient. Seems too easy. Nothing comes easy here at the Foundation. It never goes smooth. Why don't it ever go smooth? I want to steal the coffee machine that gives any drink. Just gonna write divine in it and drink whatever comes out. Intern Wolfie, first of all, it is in fact a vending machine. So your ability to steal it is probably not as strong as you think it is. This is a rather large machine. Furthermore, we already know if you put Cup of God in it, it gives you supernatural abilities. So divine will probably just do the same thing. Dr. Sherman, just found out my uncle works for the Global Coke Coalition, fairly high up too. Is there a protocol for this or business as usual? Well, you are going to have to be interrogated to test your loyalty first, and then we're going to have to use you to spy on your family member. I thought this would be a pretty obviously straightforward thing. Dr. Sherman, I've been asked to crochet an 049 by my brother-in-law. Is this allowed or would it turn anomalous? Nikki Knackle, I do not know if you have any crochet abilities that bring crochet objects to life, but otherwise, no. An 049 doll would not come to life because of 049's abilities, so it would be your abilities that brought it to life. So, to answer the question, Java name, thank you for your first donation to today's stream as well as being a member. Make sure to grab yourself a chocolate chip cookie on your way past the commissary. Wows, no taxes. Well, I guess so. Thank you for going through the Ko-Fi, which makes donations a lot more donatey. And Dr. Darkstar, thank you for donating again through the Ko-Fi. I've slept on it for years. I am fine. Night, Doc. Yeah, but you see, you're a dragon. You're a dragon. We don't know what it'll do to humans exactly, and we don't know if it'll happen tomorrow or 3 days down the line or 3 years down the line. You never know if you use this healing talisman gem of the dragon, and then 3 years from now you grow dragon wings. Did you heal Chesta Factory 3 years ago? Is that why Chesta Factory randomly grew dragon wings? I don't know. We need to study it more. Researcher Last, thank you for donating again. 05 had a bet going if I would take the bribe. I'm sure the 04 Council would love to hear about such things. We don't appreciate our meager authority being undermined. Ace, thank you for your first donation to today's stream, as well as being a member. Make sure to grab yourself a cruller on your way past the commissary. Why do you look like an anime kid? Just kidding. I'm actually curious how you were hurt. Well, it has been long enough since I said it for new people. Hi, Dr. Sherman here. Dr. Gerald threw a car at my head today, so I'm not exactly in the best of moods. Anomalous fluids, save me. O4 Council, does that exist? Java name. The O4 Council is the Site Director Council. The Site Director Council, you know, we work intermediaries between sites, and we, of course, answer the O5s, even when they're being a little territorial. Nikki Knuckle. Dr. Sherman, what's your favorite quote from literally anything? Well, that's a pretty big order, but I think today at least, my answer, the first thing that comes to mind is, the building was on fire, and it wasn't my fault. That was from a book of the Dresden Files. I'm not exactly sure which one right now, but yes. Amber, I love that line. Dresden Files fam in the house. Yes! Chris the Red Devil, thank you for donating again. Sherman, Simber has asked a question. Simber is here? I didn't even know Simber was here. What is Simber asking about? Desk, thank you for telling me what Simber has asked about. Dr. Sherman, if 6A2 can adapt to anything, could he survive when day breaks? The answer to that is no. 682 could not adapt the sun, turning it into flesh monster. At least in the canon of the When Day Breaks crossover between Mr. Illustrated and Dr. Sumerian, two friends of the channel who make dope videos. 682 lost against the sun. Dr. Sherman, I have an idea to make the tree scream, and 2721-Lear agrees it's a good idea. May we introduce the tree to SCP-729? SJ! Oh, no. Ah! On this, the day of my car head migraine. We have already, I'm madder at you than usual because we can already have that plan on the books. And the O5 Council and the Ethics Committee are slow-walking it. They're not approving the test. I think it might work, or it might completely destroy the tree, and then we can't make it scream, which is bad. But we can't find out because the overseers and the Ethics Committee will not approve it. Yo, dope channel bro, first time viewer. I'm glad to see people having fun and being creative. Keep it up. Intern adds cheer. Your name is very appropriate. Thank you for adding cheer to our community. You've actually made me feel better immediately. Yes. Hooray to people reading fun stories written by fun people and role-playing and goofing off and having a good time. Some good energy in the world. You keep telling us Dr. Gerald threw a car at your head, but you haven't told us why Dr. Gerald did it. Intern Evie, I did explain this earlier, but it was early in the stream. I'll keep it brief. Dr. Gerald, to the best of our knowledge, is anomalous. And that if Dr. Gerald just typically is very accident prone, very similar to Dr. William Weddle, SCP-7000. But Dr. Gerald has a next level version of this bad luck, which is if Dr. Gerald gets behind the wheel of a car, whoever is in that car with Dr. Gerald will die. Whoever is a pedestrian near that car will die. In fact, the fact that I'm even alive right now is kind of miraculous. Honestly, my survival is kind of... Computer guy said that my Florida man ability to walk away from lethal situations with but a scratch had something to do with the quantum superposition of whether or not I'm anomalous or not. But no, Dr. Gerald threw a car at my head and I'm still standing. Oh, boy. Well, I might need to talk back to the quantum division and see what they have dug up because... Okay, that's, well, that's intensely worrying. Researcher Last, thank you for donating again. I can confirm the mini fridges are still in Site 42. Well, that's good. Let's lose them in storage for a little while me and the 04 Council sorts things with the 05s here. Ace, thank you for donating twice again, once again to fix a typo. Your generosity is much appreciated. Hey, my friend copy and pasted your log in the comments of a random video of yours. I'm sorry for the reminder of your vegetable friend. Oh, that's right. YouTube comments don't have a character limit. So you can just post an entire interview log in there. Interesting. Well, the good news is I didn't see it because we get so many YouTube comments, and the YouTube comment showing algorithm to creators is super screwed up right now. Instead of showing the most recent comments like you would expect, YouTube now has an algorithm for showing you the best comments, and that means that every time I open my comments, it shows me the same 3 comments all day unless I respond to them. It's actually super stupid, and YouTube should fix that. Do you feel like your question is being ignored? It could be because we have heard it and answered it to the point that it's tiresome. We believe in you to make your question as interesting as possible. Yes, do remember that I will answer every dono as a thank you for donating. I will answer green name and white name questions in the general chat as I find them interesting. So you are free to ask your question again and again. And maybe it'll reach a point where I didn't find it interesting, but I'm finding everything else less interesting, and then I'll do it. Or perhaps zhuzh up your question. Give me something to chew on and have a fun conversation with you guys. This is how you interact in yes and in improv. You find a way to make it fun for everyone involved. Intern Karasune, thank you for your first donation to today's stream. Make sure to grab yourself a Filet-O-Fish on your way past the commissary. Congratulations, Dr. Sherman. You now realize you're an anomaly based on surviving stuff. You definitely shouldn't. Welcome to the group. I still think we have to do more research on this. I could be exceptionally lucky. That's all. Just exceptionally, not anomalously, just exceptionally. We don't know yet. We'll find out. Sheer and characters I don't recognize a language. Welcome to Site 42 staff. Thank you for subscribing. Chasing Dreams, thank you for your first donation to today's stream. Make sure to grab yourself a pot pie on your way past the commissary. Hey doc, just dropping this for your medical bills. Thank you for your donation. I will admit my medical bills are, well, I was going to say my medical bills are covered by the foundation, and they are, but thanks to everything that's happening in America right now and how the foundation has to adjust budgets to deal with that, my healthcare is eating up twice as much of my pay allotment as it was before, so that is annoying. But at least that's still covered. What I will do with this is I will put it toward the vehicles that we have to replace on site thanks to Dr. GERALD's Joyride. The budget is the friends we made along the way. Yeah, basically. Kind of funny how with each dono, you recommend them something random yet delicious to grab. Almost like you're giving the donators a highly specific coupon every time, lol. Well, yes, I find myself to be a good gift giver. And that means tailoring your gift to the person you're giving it to. Therefore, I don't think just sending you to the commissary is nice. I think you should have a special home-cooked meal, a nice specific thing that is delightful from the commissary for your personal donation-y. And so if you're like allergic to something I suggest to you, please tell me, and I'll try not to suggest that to you in the future. I mean, there are a lot of you. I site director a lot of people at this site, but I do my best because personalized recommendations are where the heart is. Actually, one of my favorite foods is Filet-O-Fish, so that was perfect. Yes! Yes! The randomness gods have blessed me. I can't believe I was right. The lightly fried fish fillet the other day was lovely, thank you. Everyone loves a lightly fried fish fillet. Nothing wrong with a lightly fried fish fillet. When will we add milanesas to the commissary? Java name, I do not know what that is, but I bet the commissary has it regardless. I'm going to look it up now for my own interest. Milanesa is a dish of thin-breaded, pan-fried meat popular in Latin American countries, particularly Argentina or Uruguay. Beef, chicken, or pork found in the vegetarian forms of eggplant or soy. Well, this is delightful. I love this. It looks like a chicken fried steak, which is what I would call something that looks like that from the south of the United States where I'm from. But cool. Filet-O-Fish is butt. Hey! Hey, big guy gaming, not big gay gaming. Although it would be all right if you were big gay gaming, but you're big guy gaming. Hey, listen, my favorite kind of pizza is Pizza Hut, okay? I understand that you can enjoy garbage food for nostalgic value or being used to it or it being a safe food. So, yes, it might be garbage, but it's still delightful to the people who find it delightful. We will not diss on their parade. All right, where's the chat? Refresh the chat. By the way, Site 42 staff, we are currently 8 minutes from what I'm deciding is the end of stream. I think a 2-hour mark is pretty good for the day that I got hit by a car. Ace, thank you for donating again. Dropping off some poutine and free healthcare from Canada. Oh, dear God. I mean, poutine on its own is delightful. Who doesn't love French fries, gravy, and cheese? That sounds incredible. All the time. Everyone's down with that. But, the free healthcare, please. Please find a way to make that real in the United States. The foundation would owe you one. Dr. Gerald touches a car engine. That is the opposite of free health care. That is free automotive death care for everyone. No. Intern Nothing. Welcome to Site 42 staff. Thank you for subscribing. Is Godzilla considered an SCP? To be an SCP, you must be anomalous on the SCP database as an SCP document. Godzilla does not fulfill those 3 requirements, so although it is definitely an anomalous entity, it is not an SCP. Now, we do have multiple kaiju anomalies, but they are not Godzilla. Basically, for copyright reasons, it looks like Gojira, but it is not Gojira. Intern Manuel, it is Siren Head is also the same thing I just said. It is anomalous, but it's not on the SCP wiki, and it's not an SCP. 2 out of 3, it is not that. Band-Aid on your face. Do you get in a confrontation with an SCP? Intern Sharia. I got in an altercation with SCP-666-J. Codename, Dr. Gerald's driving skills. Dr. Gerald threw a car at my head. So yes, technically I did get in a fight with an SCP today. Nobody won. Chasing Dreams, thank you for gifting 10 Site 42 memberships to today's Containment Hazard Assessment team. We appreciate your generosity in building our ranks of green names to help us win the battle against the white names. If you got a membership from Chasing Dreams, make sure to thank them for their generosity. Meanwhile, Ace, thank you for donating again. My mentality tells me it'll happen if I pay enough. Hey. If you pay, quote, enough, you and everybody, to make me more money than God, I will lobby the American Congress to follow the Bernie Sanders policy of single-payer health care. And then it will happen. The odds of this are very low because enough is a hell of a lot of money. But don't tempt me. I'll fucking do it. I'll fucking do it. Blizzard, thank you for your first donation to today's stream. Grab yourself some yub nubs on your way past the commissary. I found a big dog. I don't know why. It's named 682. He is very cute. I should pet him. SCP-682 is not a dog. It's a reptile. And also, it's an object, not a person. It's an it's, not a he, not a him. It's an it's. Please practice proper pronoun parlance protocols at the Foundation. And no, don't pet it. Lead it into a box where we can recontain it. Researcher Lass, thank you for donating again. The mini fridges are, quote, lost in storage. Nice. Good work. Someone knows how to do their job around here. I love how Dr. Sherman didn't even mention the pet. Oh, he addressed it as I was typing. Never mind. Don't think I forgot. Mind like a steel trap. Steel trap that had a car thrown at it, but still pretty good. Ace, thank you for donating again. Land of the free my ass. I mean, listen, I cannot give heads or tails if any country will free your ass. That is, I think The Hague has to answer whether or not that ass deserves to be free. I think that is a worry that even I, a member of the Foundation, have questions about containing or not, but it's above my pay grade. Java Name, thank you for gifting a Site 42 membership to today's Containment Hazard Assessment team. If you got that membership, please thank Java Name for their generosity in helping us build our ranks of green names to help us win the battle against the white names. Night Synth, thank you for donating again. So I may have found a decent, albeit mechanical match for a 5031 look, though no tailblade. Still kind of close. Iron Tomb from Honkai Star Rail. I only understand about half the words in that sentence, but maybe the database will help me. The fuck did you say? Iron Tomb. The fuck is that? Alright, I'm seeing multiple arms, it looks like. It's very robotic. It's very the digital bad guys from Dot Hack Sign and the Dot Hack games. It's very geometric. And the only thing is 5031 is a biological entity. But still, it is pretty cool looking. I will agree with that. Blizzard, thank you for donating again. Why did y'all skip SCP-055? Wait, what was I saying? Skip what? We don't have an 055. What are you talking about? I think I finally discovered the reason why 80% of the time no one says thanks on YouTube. YouTube gives membership to people that are not present on the stream. Who the heck configured that? Java Name, yes, I do believe that to be true. YouTube hands out memberships that are gifted basically at random with a preference for active fans of a channel. They literally check your engagement levels. And if you engage highly, you are more likely to get a membership if one is gifted. So yes, the likelihood is a lot of gifted memberships are people who aren't currently in chat. But we say it just in case. Sometimes we get lucky. Ace, thank you for donating again. Hey, look at this thing I found. It heals in reverse. I call it a gun. No! It's worse than that kid that found a knife. Doo-doo. Doo. It's just as bad on Twitch. Junior researcher Sally is in my stream every time I go on, and she has missed out on over 100 gifted memberships. That's rough, buddy. Ace, thank you for donating again. I need help. What we classify cognitive hazard that is a gate to hell? What do you mean a cognitive hazard that is a gate to hell? A piece of information that when you notice it, you get transported to hell? I mean, that is in fact not... The gate to hell part doesn't actually change the containment. It's the cognitohazard and how easily it's spread that makes it safe Euclid or Keter. But I guess it would be probably Euclid or Keter, depending on how difficult it is to contain the cognitohazard. All right, Site 42 staff. We have passed the 2-hour mark. This is the end of our 2-hour after-hour stream of the day. And as always, at the end of stream, as a tradition around these parts, I tell you guys my favorite SCPs. But of course, I'm not going to tell you that my favorite SCPs are the ones I personally wrote. That would be cheating. That would be pure, unadulterated narcissism. But if you want to read the SCPs that I write, you can go to the Sherm's author page in Site 42 Hub on the SCP Wiki. There, you can see the SCPs I personally wrote, as well as contributed voice lines or sound effects too. And while you're there on my author page, one tab over from the SCPs, you'll find some links. Links people are often very interested in finding, but they just don't put forth the effort to find. They aren't skilled enough, clever enough, determined enough. But that's not you. That's not you. You'll do your due diligence, I'm sure. And while you're there at those links, you can become a Site 42 Patreon patron or YouTube channel member to donate to us monthly. You can do a YouTube Super Chat or Ko-Fi to donate to us one at a time. Either way, we appreciate direct donations. They are the quickest way to help Site 42 keep the lights on for myself and my staff, and we appreciate you greatly. But if you are unable to donate directly, if you're part of the Broke Gang, do not feel like you are lesser. Because, remember, we're an arts community. Starving artists are a very common thing. Too common, I might say. Yay, capitalism. But if you are here watching our videos and commenting and liking, if you're watching our streams and chatting and liking, if you are liking, sharing, subscribing, doing that whole YouTube dance, as well as doing the same for any SCP projects we shout out, then that makes you an honored and valuable member of Mobile Task Force Site 42, codename the Sigma Boosters. And because of your service, Site 42 becomes a stronger beacon for the SCP community. And SCP authors, SCP artists, animators, game devs, filmmakers, merch makers, every time we shout out their projects and you help them out, you are doing your part to help the SCP community. When those creators get engagement and funding, they keep with the SCP community. It's a Creative Commons community. It does not pay nearly as well as the Hollywood system, but it's, damn it, it's ours, and we're gonna do it. And so I thank you for your service. A couple quick donations came in while I was doing the outro. Let me get to those real quick. Blizzard, thanks for donating again. Now I am very suspicious. Are you guys going to try to kill me or something? First, you guys put me in a room with a guy that doesn't like my net because I didn't look at him. And 2747 is just weird, like, what? Hey. Do not worry. No one's going to die. We don't destroy anomalies because then we can't research them. So no, you'll never be killed by us. We're not the Global Occult Coalition. We don't destroy, destroy. We secure, contain, protect. You're going to be well protected. Ace, thank you for donating twice again. I mean, if you get close, you get drawn towards it. Also, please scream a curse at the one that injured you at the end of the stream. I forgot what that was called. Oh, trust me. A donation to curse Dr. Gerald's name sounds fabulous. Volume warning after the credit song because, well, also volume warning for the credit song because I am going to be yelling for that too. The credit song is very particular today. I picked one that was very thematic, you would say. But okay, so my favorite SCPs in no particular order are SCP-3999, SCP-3043, SCP-008-J, SCP-Spooky-J, SCP-5031, SCP-5175, SCP-5320, and SCP-8980. Content warning on the last one, it's a rough read. Speed round! 3999-3043-008-J, Spooky-J, 5031, 5175, 5320, content warning on the last one, it's a rough read. Site 42 staff. I have been Dr. Theron Sherman, and this has been another After Hours at Site 42, a subsidiary of the anomalous broadcast from Site 42. I hope you had fun. I hope you learned something. Be safe, be well, and as always, secure, contain, protect. I'll see you in the next video or stream. Volume warning for the credit song. Dead I am the one exterminating sun, slipping through the trees, strangling the breeze. Dead I am the sky, watching angels cry, while they slowly turn, conquering the worm. Dig through the ditches and burn through the witches. I slay 'em in the back of my Dragula. Dig through the ditches and burn through the witches. I slay 'em in the back of my Dragula. The credit song is Dragula by Rob Zombie. Be safe, be well, and secure. Contain, protect. I'll get you, Gerald! You motherfucker!